Hey everyone, it's Jake Adams. I want to do a quick video here talking about the economic impact payments, or the EIP, which are all in the news right now because they're starting to come out. So what I want to do is answer a couple common questions. Now, the number one question that I have from people is, okay, I've gone to the IRS website and they say that the info is not available. Now, here's what's happening is the IRS is not able to send out everybody's check at once. So what they're doing is they're breaking these into batches over 2 weeks. So if you go onto the IRS website to see if you have a payment that's due to you, and it says info not available, you can go ahead and check it again in about 3 or 4 days. And then when your information is put into the batches, then that's when the information will pop up for you. Now, I want to answer a couple other frequently asked questions as far as how much am I going to get? Am I going to get one? Those kind of things. So I'm here on the IRS website. It's coronavirus / Economic Information Center. So what I want to do is cover a couple things here. So first of all, who is eligible? So it's everybody that made less than $75,000 single, 120 or 150 for married filing jointly couples. And if you made more than that, between 75 and 99 for single, or 150 to 200 if you're married filing jointly, then you're going to get a modified amount. So what is that modified amount? Well, essentially, let's say you made $180,000, and this is your AGI, your adjusted gross income, which is on your tax return. If you made, let's say, $180,000, then you're married, then you're in between here, and you're in between here at about 20%, right? Because this is 150 to 200, so about 50%. 180 would be 30% gone, so you're only 20% left. So I'm assuming you're going to get about 20% of that, right? So how do we work out those numbers? Well, let's say that you're married and you have one kid, so you should be getting $2,900, but you're only going to get, let's say, 20% of that. So it comes out to like $580, right? So I hope that makes sense. Now, who's not eligible? ITIN, if you're holding an ITIN or if you're an international taxpayer, this isn't going to work for you. And then how much are you going to get? Well, I just kind of did the numbers right there, right? So it's $1,200 for a single person, $2,400 for married, and then $500 for each child under the age of 17. Now, here is where these numbers come into play, right? So you probably ask, okay, well, what numbers do I use? Is it 2018, 2019? If you've already filed your 2019 tax return, which most of my clients have not, then you're going to be using your 2018 numbers. Now, here's where we can kind of play with it. If you know that your 2019 numbers are less than your 2018 numbers, if you made less money in 2019 than in 2018, then we want to go ahead and file as soon as possible, because then we're going to get a larger economic payment check, this EIP check. But if you're not sure, if you're like, hey, Jake, run the numbers for me, just reach out to me. I'll go ahead and run the numbers for you and see what makes sense. But only if you're like in this area between the 150 and the 200 if you're married, or 75 to 100 if you're single. That's when I'm really looking at this specifically to go ahead and make sure that we can get this, get your return filed and sent in, and hopefully they're going to look at it. It only takes a day or two for the IRS to accept and process a tax return. So more than likely, if we send in the 2019 and it gets accepted and processed within a day or two, they'll go ahead and use that updated information. But of course, we really have no idea what their capacity is right now, because pretty much everybody at the IRS is gone. So everything's on a computer-based system. So we have really no idea what's happening with that at all. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. If you got any questions about like, how do I get my payment? It's here on the IRS website. So you can see here, it's irs.gov/coronavirus/getmypayment. If you go to the irs.gov website, you'll probably be able to find a link for it. So just irs.gov and look for coronavirus, and then you can see, get my payment. It should be like kind of front and center. Coronavirus tax relief. So you can either click here or click clear. Get my payment is here. All this stuff is all available to you, right? So I hope that makes sense for you, and reach out to me if you have any other questions. Thanks.